20 years since its release, The Big Lebowski has shaped pop culture in a way no one could have predicted.
Yeah, well, that's just like your opinion, man.
It's inspired theme parties, fan clubs, cosplay, a signature drink, an annual festival, a religion based on the dude's philosophy, and the Day of the Dude, celebrated every March 6th, the day the film came out. By now, The Big Lebowski is more than a movie. It's a lifestyle.
Far out.
So why exactly did the Dudist lifestyle become so instantly and enduringly iconic?
I'm the dude. So that's what you call me, that or his dudeness or duder or, El Duderino if you're not into the whole brevity thing.
What's so appealing about The Big Lebowski is what Roger Ebert describes as the film's attitude. And of course, the film's attitude is a reflection of the dude's attitude.
Take it easy, dude.
Oh, yeah.
I know that you will.
The dude is embodied in the opening image, that tumbleweed rolling along, carried by the wind across LA. This is someone who goes with the flow. But like the tumbleweed, the dude is pulled by a tumultuous world into over-the-top adventures. So the suggestion is that if we stop pushing and forcing movement in our lives and instead let ourselves be moved by the flow of things, we might actually experience more. Of course, the dude doesn't want big, crazy experiences. All he wants is peace and stability. And throughout the film, as he gets more and more mixed up with these crazy plots, the dude is fighting to maintain his relaxed composure.
Earlier today, I was really feeling shitty, man. Really down in the dumps. Can't be worried about that shit. Life goes on, man.
His true goal is less to solve the kidnapping mystery than to keep his cool and not let all of this get to him. Thus, the spiritual question of the movie is, how does the dude keep being the dude when so much drama around him is threatening to destroy his inner tranquility? One of the movie's most famous lines,
The dude abides.
is an homage to The Night of the Hunter.
Lord, save little children. The wind blows and the rains are cold, yet they abide.
With that mysterious phrase,
The dude abides.
the Coens are imbuing him with the sacred spirit of the child who perseveres in spite of whatever comes. And then the dude is compared to Christ.
It's good knowing he's out there. The dude. Taking her easy for all us sinners.
So the righteous thing the dude is doing is taking it easy. And our sin that he's redeeming is the way we constantly do everything but take it easy.
Just take it easy, man.
That's your answer for everything, dude.
Taking it easy in a world that's constantly trying to ruffle you is a significant and paradoxically difficult thing to do. The dude represents a passive life, disengaged from chaos. He's not married with a family and doesn't seem to seek a partner.
Do you see a wedding ring on my finger? Does this place look like I'm f***ing married?
He doesn't work or seek a job.
My papers, business papers.
And what do you do, sir?
I'm unemployed.
He's not fixated on proving any macho, aggressive standard of masculinity.
They're calling the cops, man. Put the piece away.
His world thinks that all of these things make him a loser.
He looks like a f***ing loser.
Hey, at least I'm housebroken.
But the dude's detachment from the crazy, wound-up world and its whirlwind of toxic emotions feels spiritual, reminiscent of Buddhist or Taoist philosophy. The dude doesn't seek excitement or greatness, just balance and equanimity.
How things been going?
Oh, strikes and gutters, ups and downs.
At the beginning of the film, we're told,
Sometimes there's a man. He's the man for his time and place. He fits right in there. And that's the dude.
he embodies that slacker type that came into being in the 90s. Of course, the dude is also an aging hippie from the 60s.
You know, I spent most of my time occupying various administration buildings, smoking a lot of Thai steak, breaking into the ROTC, you know, bowling.
And perhaps the slacker is the 90s answer to the question, what happened to those idealistic dreamers of the 60s if they didn't go on to just get a job and get with the program over time?
My advice to you is to do what your parents did. Get a job, sir!
But as we watch the film, the initial statement,
He's the man for his time and place.
starts to sound curious because the dude doesn't really seem to fit in with his time and place at all. And ultimately, he's more the inverse of the man of the times we might imagine from the 90s. He's a pacifist at the time of the Gulf War.
These guys, they're like me, they're pacifists.
He's completely unambitious, anti-achievement at the start of a decade that was about to see a huge commercial boom. The narration says he's the man for his time, because maybe his time needed more people like him to think differently from the norm of the era. There's also something timeless and mythical about the dude's story, as if this spiritual tumbleweed is an essential antidote to mankind's crazed forward motion in any era. And at the end, we hear,
I happen to know that there's a little Lebowski on the way.
so we can take comfort that there will be more dudes in the future needed in times to come. Moments from this film are so iconic because they're specific, original, neatly presented, and made of surprising, incongruous combinations. Thus, they stick in our minds. Like when we first meet the dude and he's paying for a 69-cent carton of milk with a check. Or the dude's white Russian milk mustaches. And the choice of drink itself. The constant drinking here is a play on the whiskey-drinking noir hero.
I had a bottle of pretty good rye in my pocket. I'd a lot rather get wet in here.
But the specific choice of the White Russian is a decidedly unmasculine yet delicious drink that really embodies the dude himself. There's the repetition of Bob Dylan's The Man in Me, the dude's song, and how it's paired with flying dreams and a POV shot of a bowling ball. So this unexpected combination embodies the dude's holy place of sorts, the way he tries to transcend. There's Bunny's car driven straight into the fountain with its license plate that says Lapin, French for rabbit. And of course, her green nail polish. We're introduced to Bunny painting her toenails. Then we see that green polish on that bloody, amputated toe. And what was an idiosyncratic detail becomes brilliantly efficient storytelling. We immediately summon that first image of Bunny and understand the meaning of this toe instantly. Then we get the incredibly memorable shot revealing Bunny's 10 intact toes, a huge turning point in the story communicated through this simple efficiency. And later we get our explanation when we see the nihilist's bandaged foot, missing a toe. The specific, efficient storytelling through these 4 instances of toes adds such character that even decades after seeing the movie, we still remember that green nail polish. And that bloody toe with its perfect green polish embodies how the film understands that incongruous combinations are memorable. The characters, likewise, are contradictory mixes of qualities we don't generally associate with each other. An angry Vietnam veteran who's very vocal about his conversion to Judaism.
I don't roll on Shabbos.
A moody femme fatale who's also a feminist artist, partially based on Yoko Ono and artist Carolee Schneemann.
My art has been commended as being strongly vaginal, which bothers some men. The word itself makes some men uncomfortable. Vagina.
Even the dude is incongruous. He seems like the most relaxed guy ever,
Quite possibly the laziest in Los Angeles County.
but he gets bent out of shape when his life is disrupted in a relatively insignificant way.
Yeah, man, it really tied the room together.
And he just won't let it go.
Really tied the room together.
The dude's caring too much about small things gets him into this whole mess.
I could be sitting here with just pee stains on my rug.
Yeah,
But no, man, I gotta,
Germans.
But his taking it easy lifestyle isn't the same as not caring about anything.
Willie doesn't care about anything. He's a nihilist.
Oh, that must be exhausting.
His hard-won peace comes from focusing on things he can control. He depends on his routine, wearing sunglasses inside, bowling, drinking White Russians, taking a bath, smoking a joint, and listening to Bob. His sacred place is the bowling alley where everything is the same from game to game.
Smokey, this is not Nam. This is bowling. There are rules.
The loving, slow-motion shots of the bowling emphasize the reverence these characters have for their game. It's their temple. This is their meditation.
The tournament. You, Walter.
The tournament? Okay, dude, I can see you don't want to be cheered up here.
So repetitions within the film add to the memorability, humor, and storytelling efficiency, but they also thematically illustrate how the characters derive happiness from repetition in their lives. And the film reveals to us that one way of building a happy lifestyle is committing to our own repetitions, filling our days with what gives us joy, finding our own favorite activity and drink, and enjoying them as ritual. And of course, if we don't want the trouble of finding our own routine, The Dudes is a pretty easy one to emulate. So that's another reason it's become a lifestyle. In 1998, The Big Lebowski helped create a whole new subgenre, one which Slate has dubbed the slacker noir. This subgenre is the marriage of film noir and stoner comedy, so you could also call it stoner noir. It's got many traditional film noir elements, a dark, cynical outlook, the femme fatale.
Blow on them.
You just put your lips together and blow.
Smoking, here it's joints instead of cigarettes, and a deadpan protagonist who gets horrendously beaten up and abused over the course of the story. The Big Lebowski is partly based on Raymond Chandler's The Big Sleep, and the film stays true to the episodic nature of Chandler-esque magazine Pulp Fiction. It feels like it's made up of isolated sequences that don't have that much to do with each other, and it values the individual scene over the plot. Joel Cohen has said that, like Chandler's work, The Big Lebowski has, quote, a hopelessly complex plot that's ultimately unimportant. We also associate noir with its stylized, distinctive patterns of speech.
You know, you're the second guy I've met today that seems to think a gap in the hand means the world with a tail.
Lebowski likewise creates its own style of dialogue so memorable that it's one of the most quotable films of the last 2 decades. For instance,
Ah, nice marmot.
Nobody f***s with the Jesus.
Obviously, you're not a golfer.
Shut the f up, Donnie.
The parlance of our time.
In the parlance of our time, Mr. Treehorn treats objects like women, man.
I will not abide another toe.
but as Slate pointed out, there's a notable difference between film noir and the slacker noir. Here, the protagonist is not a PI trying to solve the mystery. He's a hapless slacker who's attempting to separate himself from the mystery. The dude's only objective is to get reparations for his rug, but this simple goal sucks him deeper and deeper into a mess that he can only exit by solving the mystery.
This is a very complicated case, Maude. You know, a lot of ins, a lot of outs, a lot of what have yous.
And the comedy comes from watching the dude bumble through this case and try to figure it out through unconventional means.
Is this your homework, Larry?
So Lebowski's new genre embodied what the dudist lifestyle represents to people: a certain cool vibe, an acceptance of the futility of much of life, combined with an embrace of the laid-back stoner attitude and a serene approach to life. The dude might be a god on Earth, or he might be a loser. This is really in the eye of the beholder. His world certainly views the dude as a bum. Both Jeffrey Lebowski and his daughter use the dude because they see him as worthless, not a threat, as nothing.
You figured, oh, here's a loser, you know, a deadbeat, somebody the square community won't give a shit about.
Well, aren't ya?
The Big Lebowski of the title isn't the dude, it's the other Lebowski. The dude constantly reminds people he's not Lebowski.
Nobody calls me Lebowski. You got the wrong guy. I'm the dude, man. I am not Mr. Lebowski. You're Mr. Lebowski. I'm the dude.
Mr. Lebowski.
Dude.
He doesn't want to be a big Lebowski, a big rich man making a big name for himself. The dude rejects the Big Lebowski's image of success. He rejects that key word, achieving.
They're the little Lebowski urban achievers.
The central divide in the film is really between these two men with the same given name.
The bums will always lose. Do you hear me, Lebowski?